Let's look at yet another physics general examination revision on vectors. The question here, 6, says a car travels along a highway with a velocity of 24.0 meter per second west. The car exits the highway and 4.00 seconds later, its instantaneous velocity is 16.0 meter per second, 45.0 degree north of west. What is the magnitude of the average acceleration of the car during the 4-second interval? All right. All right. So how do you have your options here? A, B, C, D, and E. All right. I mean to solve this question. So how exactly do you solve this question? Now, from the question that we are asked to find, or we are asked the magnitude of the average acceleration, all right, average acceleration. Now, you want to note that average acceleration is simply equal to change in velocity all over time. Okay, so let's start by saying this solution. We want to note that average acceleration, so acceleration A, average AV, all right, it's equal to change in velocity. So we have this change in velocity all over time. Let me do this all over time, or perhaps change in time, right? So change in time. That's your formula for average velocity, for average acceleration. Also, you want to know that change in velocity, it's equal to the difference between the final velocity and the initial velocity. So let's say change in V, let's call this change in V. We'll call this change in T, right? So I'll take this, I say change in velocity, that's change in V, is equal to the very final velocity, F, minus initial velocity, that's I. Again, you want to observe that in the question, you're having directions, northwest and west. So that means this would be a vector question. Hence, I would have this. I'll just put this one here, this minus this, because it's something that has to do with vectors. All right, if you want to. All right, so you have this. All right, let's get this value. How do we solve this? Let's get the value of the final velocity as well as initial velocity. Looking at the question that they said 4.0 seconds later. So you're already giving change in time, right? Giving change in time, this as equal to 4.00 seconds or 4 seconds. So this one is sorted. All we have to do is to find the value of the final velocity as well as initial velocity, and we subtract them. Back to the question, they said a car travels along a highway with a velocity of 24.0 meter per second west. Again, if you want to plot this on the Cartesian coordinates, all right, let's get north, south, east, west, and then see how we can plot this. So I'll call this initial velocity. So for VI, VI is simply initial velocity. This is north, this is south, this is east, and this is west. All right. Now, having this, they said the car travels along this, all right, this is the value, and it's west to 24.0 west. That means the car is literally moving on or perfectly horizontally this way here, right? Somewhere around here, this, and the value is about 24.0, so 24 meter per second west. So I have this. If I should plot this, you can see that one thing you want to note is that when a particle is moving perfectly horizontal, as in this case, you want to note that it has just an x component, that's a horizontal component. So for VI, let's call it VIX. VI, that's initial velocity, x is the horizontal component. That value is equal to get the horizontal component in vector form, the first thing you want to note is your sign convention or the sign. Here, as we know, is the negative side of x. This is positive of x. Now, since 24 is on the west side, which is negative of x, it will come with a negative value. That's negative, and then you use the value there, which is 24. All right, so I'm having this as minus 24 meter per second. You have this. Why am I not using any sign or cos? Well, I'm not using sine or cosine in this case because this particular value is perfectly horizontal. There's no angle. So I'm using this. It's negative because it's in the negative part of x. So I have this. Now, when you have something on the negative part of x, there will be no vertical components. So there's no y of it. In essence, I'm saying that what I have here is just the horizontal component of initial velocity. Of initial velocity. And that's what I have as VIX. All right, let's get for final velocity. So for final velocity, I'll just do this. For final velocity, I would come back and repeat the Cartesian coordinates. So you have this, and then you have this. So you have this upwards as north, downwards as south, here as east, here as west. Okay, let's say the value. The value here given, it's 16 meter per second, 45 degrees northwest. Northwest, 45 degrees. So this is northwest. This region here is northwest. So I would come here and put this, okay, here. This value here, they said is what? 45 degrees. That's the angle. And the value of the velocity is 16 meters per second. You have this. All right, so you have 16 meter per second. Now, how do we, for this one here, we'd have to find its horizontal and vertical components. Why? Because it is inclined at an angle, as you can see here. There's an angle. So I'll have to find horizontal components and vertical components of the final velocity. So let's start with horizontal component of VF, final velocity. And that's equal to represent horizontal, I'll use VF of X. So X simply means horizontal. And that's equal to get horizontal, all I have to do is push this to the horizontal axis. That's here. You want to observe that this is the negative part of X. So it becomes negative. That's your sign. Put in the value here is 16. So negative 16. Okay, resolving to the horizontal axis, as we've said in previous classes, is simply cosine. So cos of the angle here is 45 degrees. So this cos 45, I have this. Let's now get vertical components. So vertical components of final velocity, and that will be equal to vertical component this of final velocity, and that's equal to, simply push this to the y-axis. That's this way here. This is a positive y-axis, so it becomes positive. That's the sign convention, positive. The value of the velocity here is 16, so I'm having this into 16, right? For vertical, the sign there, or the what we use the sign of the angle, that's sine of 45. So I have this. All right, I'll get my calculator and punch this real quick. So let me get to my calculator and punch this. If I punch this, I have my value as minus 11.31. This gives you minus 11.31, of course, meter per second. For the vertical, if you punch this 16 sine 45, you have positive, so plus of 11.31, basically the same value, meter per second, but opposite sign, that's positive. All right, so with this, let's now get the value of let's get the value of the change in velocity. This one here, this value. Let's get this value. So we said is VF minus VX. Okay, let's get VF minus VX. So in this case, what we'll do is simply we'll say that the change in velocity, this is equal to, we said is VF minus VI initial, please. All right, VF minus VI. What's the value of VF? Don't forget that VF has two values, right? Okay, let me put your arrowhead here and arrowhead here. VF has two value. Is it has VF of x and VF of y. So this is equal to VF has two value. Let's take the x value. The x value is this one here, minus 11.31. That becomes minus 11.31. All right, we'll give this an I. I shows that it's on the horizontal axis. Then plus, for final again, you have VFY, this one here, which is 11.31 meter per second. To become plus 11.31, you add J, right? This I simply says that it's on the horizontal axis, and J here simply tells you that it's on the vertical axis. That's all. This minus, let's get for VI. For VI, that's V initial, you observe that the value is minus 24 only on the x-axis. So it will have an I attached to it. So that becomes minus 24 I. Of course, all of them come with meter per second as your unit. All right, so let's get this done. How do you solve this? So from here, we can have that change in velocity, it's equal to, let's take out the bracket and see what we have. If I take out bracket here, this gives you minus 11.31, that's I, plus 11.31 J. From here, you're having minus minus, that gives you plus, so plus 24 I, you have this. Okay, let's add up the i's and see what we have. All right, let's add up the i's and see what we have. Now let's work with the i's. I'll take this and this. So I'll have that my change in v, this, it's equal to, if you punch minus 11.31 plus 24, you have your answer as 12.7. Let's give this in one decimal place. So this gives you 12.7. This is in I, approximately in one decimal place, plus the second one gives you 11.31, this in what? J. So with this, of course, this would be meter per second, meter per second. What you have here is the vector form of the change in velocity. Let's get the actual value. The actual value, or the modulus of this value, also called the magnitude of this value, is simply equal to the square root. So I'll take square root of each of the terms squared. That's 12.7 all squared plus 11.31, this all squared. All right. I also have that the magnitude of the change in velocity, this is equal to, you have this, let's punch the term inside the square root sign. So I'd have 12.7 squared plus 11.31 squared, and that's about 289.21 approximately. I'll take the square root of this, the square root of 289.21. So that's approximately 17.006. That's approximately 17 meters per second. With this, we can now get our average acceleration. So we said average acceleration, A AV, it's equal to simply, in this case, the magnitude of, we're using magnitude because we work with vectors, magnitude of the change in velocity all over this, all over the change in time. And that's equal to, we've gotten the upper value as 17 meter per second all over. We're giving change in time as 4 seconds. If you punch this 17 divided by 4, you have your answer as 4.25. This is 4.25 in meter per second squared. But our values were given in one decimal place. So in one decimal place, this becomes 4.3 meters per second squared. So basically, this becomes the answer to the question. So let's check which option has 4.3 meter per second squared as the option. We can see that that's simply option B. So B has 4.3 meter per second squared. So that is the correct answer. All right. Okay, guys. So you have question 7. Question 7 is for you. It says a tennis ball is thrown from ground level with velocity v naught directed 30.0 degrees above the horizontal. If it takes the ball 0.50 seconds to reach the top of its trajectory, what is the magnitude of the initial velocity? You have your options here. All right, solve this question, leave your answer in the comment section, and I'll tell you if you're correct or not. All right. All right, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, as usual, hit the like button. All right. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment. For the comment, I already gave you a task. Right. Solve the question. Leave your answer in the comment section, and I'll tell you if you're correct or not. Don't forget to also subscribe. If it's your first time here or you're yet to subscribe, please do what to subscribe. Hit the bell icon and select all so that you get notified whenever we upload new content. Then finally, do well to share this video to your friends so that they can also learn. Thank you and see you in our next class.